And good morning. Welcome to the Late to Work podcast. I'm your host, Parker, and thank you so much for tuning in this morning. It's a pretty beautiful morning so far. We got some clouds in the sky, a blue sky. I was just in Kentucky, and Kentucky we were in Louisville. It's not the greatest town. I did not enjoy it that much. It was alright. I liked some of the people there for sure, but it's not a place I would want to live. It's just kind of empty, I guess, and feels run down, and there aren't many vibes there. It's just kind of people coasting along. That's what it felt like. So happy to be back in Michigan. Hope your week is going well so far. And as I mentioned in the previous podcast, we're moving this podcast to once a week instead of twice a week for a lot of reasons, but I think it'll work out better that way and hopefully have a little bit longer podcasts and better quality and then less quantity. So that's what we're shooting for. And if you ever have any ideas you want to share on this podcast, the way you do it is you just record an idea or a story or a visionary thought you have on your phone in like voice memos, and then all you do is you just email it to latetoworkpodcast@gmail.com. It's that simple, and I choose from the different submissions and pick the greatest ones. And then if you do get chosen, there's a monthly raffle. It's a giveaway of a Starbucks gift card. So if you win that, you could be on the podcast and get some free coffee. So who doesn't like that? So keep your eyes and ears open for the next winner for next month. And today we don't have a guest, sadly, but we're going to be talking about traveling, and we're going to be talking about Boston today. I told you a little bit back that I went to Boston, and it was pretty great. I loved it. I loved the feel of the town. It was a really mature city. It has so much history in there, which I loved. And the streets, they have these like cool cobblestone streets with cool architecture, and it felt a lot like Europe. It was really interesting. So if you ever get a chance to go there, then go, because it's like it's one of my favorite places. I would love to live there someday. And I did a lot of stuff there. I kind of just, well, let me reel back a little bit. My goal for this year is to make a lot of connections and a lot of friends and just meet some really awesome people from around the world. So that's kind of my goal. And so I'm traveling a lot more than usual. I'm gone most weekends, and so I went to Boston, and I didn't know anyone there. I just flew to Boston. I got a really cheap flight. It was like $80 just to fly there. And I walked into Boston not knowing anybody, and it was probably one of the scarier things I've ever done. But it was also like, I learned so much about myself, and you have to be okay with being alone for that long. Not for that long, but just for long periods of time where you don't know anyone there, and you're trying to make friends, and it's discouraging when you get rejected by someone. You're just trying to make a friend, and they're like, no, I'm busy. And you're like, shoot, dude, I just want like one friend here. That's what you're thinking, but it was really interesting. It was a cool experience, and I actually made a lot of friends there. I have friends now at Harvard. I have friends at MIT. I have friends around the city, and it was super cool. It was like one of the greater experiences that I've had in my life. So if you have any dreams that you want to follow and you're kind of scared, just kind of, I don't know, think about it a little more, and then just do it sometimes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but usually you should just try it if you're a little scared. And a lot of times your greatest fears are your greatest strengths. You just don't know it yet. So definitely just try stuff in life. And that's what I did in Boston. Just tried something new I'd never done before. And now I know people there. I know people in Boston. I have friends there. And I had a blast. So I want to go back there sometime. And thank you for listening to today's podcast. I'm your host, Parker. And I will talk to you next week on the Late to Work podcast. See you guys later.